on, but okay, hi. Welcome to my bedroom office. With distance learning, we have to do what we have to do, right? Okay, so we're going to be focusing on how to stay healthy this whole entire month in our Oilers for Life groups. We're going to be, just making sure it was working on Instagram. We're going to be covering all the different ways you can use your oils and your products to stay healthy and not get sick. So one of the greatly misunderstood things is supplements. And since I'm a nutritionist, I learn and know and study a lot about supplements. So I thought I would share just general information about supplements today, and then throughout the month, different people will be sharing about different supplements, and then I'll also be popping in periodically live to talk a little bit more in depth about certain supplements that you want to make sure that you and your entire family are taking every single day, and why. Okay, so let's talk about supplements, because after getting proper nutrition and hydration and exercise and sleep and using your oils every single day, supplements are your next best tool to support your body, to stay well, overall wellness, okay? So that includes mental, emotional, physical, full body wellness. And no matter how amazing our nutrition is, we need supplements. And there is a good reason for that. We have to have proper nutrients in our body just to survive. Okay, so just for our body to do its normal, natural body processes, we need to have enough nutrients in our body. This is my Ningxia and sulfur sign, by the way. So many people just think about physical health when they think about optimal nutrients in the body. But what a lot of people don't realize is that mental and emotional health as well is directly tied to our nutrients in our body and our gut health and all of that. Depression, anxiety, and every single chronic issue is tied directly to the health of our gut, to our nutrient reserve, and to our toxic burden. So no matter how many clients I have, no matter how many people I work with, and I've been working with people to heal their children for almost 13 years now, no matter how many classes I teach and people I meet, I would say 100% of the issues that people have are directly related to their nutrient reserves, their gut health, and their inflammation in the body and their toxic burden. So every single issue that people have can be helped through natural modalities, okay? Many times can completely go away, but can definitely always be helped. So our bodies don't work in isolation. Like, I know that Western medicine focuses on isolating everything, right? So you go to this doctor for this thing, and this doctor for this thing, and this doctor for this thing, but that's not how our bodies work. Our bodies work holistically. Our body works together. So think of your car, right? Let's say your battery dies. Well, when your battery dies in your car doesn't work, right? Because everything works together in your car, right? Same thing with your body. So if one thing is off in your body, it spirals and sends everything else off within your body. Okay, so everything is tied together within your body. So when I talk about healing your gut and you tell me, oh, I don't get stomach aches, it doesn't matter. If you get headaches, if you get migraines, if you get brain fog, if you get eczema, if you get acne, if you get sick a lot, if you have ADD, if you have ADHD, if you have anything basically, that is tied to your gut health. Okay, if you have depression, if you have anxiety, that is all tied to the health of your gut, your nutrient reserves, and your toxic burden. Okay, it always comes back to that. Okay, so what we can do within our bodies is we can make healthy choices which spiral our health upwards. Each healthy choice we make helps spiral our health upwards, and each unhealthy choice we make spirals our health downwards. So we try to spiral it up. So the reason why supplements are so important is because if you look at our world, it is not the way that it was intended to be, right? So when the earth was created, it was created perfectly to have everything nutrient rich. The soil was beautiful and full of enzymes and minerals, and all the food was full of nutrients, and the sky and the air were clean, and the water was clean and pure, and the food was perfect, right? It had everything we needed, everything our body needed. But now the soil is completely depleted. It's lacking enzymes, it's lacking minerals. So our produce is then lacking enzymes and minerals. And since we're not growing our produce in our backyard in mineral rich soil, so most of our produce is grown like hours to days away from where we live, right? So they have to pick it when it's not ripe. So when they pick it unripe, it is not full of nutrients. Then they transport it for multiple days. Then it sits in the grocery store for multiple days. So what we're actually getting from that vegetable or fruit is basically nothing. Okay? Back in the day, you got everything you needed because you grew it on your farm. You waited till it was ripe, you picked it, and you ate it. Okay, but that is not the case for most people. So our food is greatly lacking. Okay, even if you are growing it in your backyard, the chances of your soil being mineral and enzyme rich and completely free of any, toxins is probably small. We know for sure the air is not clean, and we know for sure the water's not clean. So right there, it's not going to be perfect. So our food is not full of nutrients, no matter how perfect we eat, right? Perfect we eat. Then our bodies are burdened with toxic exposures everywhere, okay? So many of them we can't avoid. We can't avoid the air that we're breathing. I mean, we can help the air in our home be cleaner and fresher, but we cannot, for the most part, do much about the air outside. For the most part, we can't do much about the water quality where we live. We can do something about the water that we're drinking in our home and using in our home, but the water that is watering the food we eat and the animals that we eat and all of that stuff, we can't do much about, okay? And our bodies need micronutrients, okay, to digest food. Our bodies need micronutrients to detoxify toxins. Our bodies need micronutrients to have energy, to have any metabolic process within our body, okay? So when we are not getting them with food, we also need nutrients to digest our food. So the food that we're ingesting doesn't contain the nutrients needed to digest that food, let alone enough to then digest it and have some left over to assimilate, and let alone have enough left over to then help us detoxify. So what we're left with is a body that is craving more nutrients so that it can be healthy, because our body wants to be healthy. Our body desires to keep us alive and healthy and thriving. So we need to make sure that we are giving our body enough nutrients so that it can do what it wants to do, right? Okay, so just a little synopsis of some of the toxins that we have to deal with on a daily basis, okay? In our air, in our food, in our water. So we have pesticides, herbicides, fungicides. We have sewer sludge that they use as fertilizer. There's industrial byproducts in the soil and in the water. There are synthetics of every kind everywhere. Even if we're trying to eliminate them from our homes, other people are using them. It's going into the water, it's getting into the soil, it's getting into the food. There are antibiotics in our water and in our food. There are synthetic hormones in our water and in our food. There are plastics in our water and in our food and in our soil. There are birth control pills in our water, food, and soil. There are so many things that our body has to detoxify that we don't have that much control over. So thus the need for supplements. Okay. So I could go on and on about that for a really long time, but I think you guys catch the drift. Okay, so let's talk about supplements in general, okay? Because you know how we talk about not all essential oils are created equally? Well, not all supplements are created equally either. Just like essential oils are not regulated by the FDA, neither are supplements. And greenwashing is huge when it comes to supplements, just like it's huge when it comes to products, okay? Just like with essential oils, you're better off not using any supplements than using supplements that are loaded with fillers and excipients and all of these harmful byproducts and harmful things. So you're better off not using any than using bad ones, just like you are not better off not using any essential oils than using bad ones. Okay, so since I am a holistic nutritionist, I have access to professional supplements that you can't access unless you are a practitioner. So I always assumed that the supplements that I had access to would be better than Young Living supplements, right? Because I was a supplement snob and just it took me a long time to transition everything over to Young Living, and I would research every single product that I would switch over. And so the last thing I switched over was my supplements, okay? Because I just assumed. But when I started researching Young Living supplements, I was blown away. I was blown away because they created them with so much research base and so much holistic nutrition background and so much care that they surpassed my expectations by 1,000,000%. I was literally blown away by how beautifully and amazingly they created these supplements, because I'm not sure if you know this, but in order to utilize and assimilate nutrients, they have to be in a familiar form to the body. They have to be in a usable form, and they also have to have the proper nutrient cofactors with them in order to assimilate them and utilize them in the body. So Young Living created them with the proper cofactors, in the proper forms, in the proper way so that our body can utilize them. But Young Living took it a step further, okay? They took it a step further because they have essential oils in them. And if you've ever learned about essential oils, Young Living's essential oils, you know that essential oils are able to cross through our cell membranes and cross our blood-brain barrier, and they bring the nutrients directly into the cells. So as the Young Living essential oils are able to go into our cells and able to cross our blood-brain barrier, they actually bring along the nutrients from the supplements into our cells where our body can utilize them. So they actually, if you were to compare them side by side with professional grade supplements, and most people are not taking professional grade supplements, mind you. Most people are taking supplements from, like CVS or Costco or Walgreens or GNC, whatever that place is called, or, places like that. And in that case, you can just not take any. Like, it's better off to just not take any supplements than to take poorly made supplements, because they're actually going to burden your liver and burden your body, because your body has to work to detoxify that stuff that's in those supplements, and you're not utilizing any of it. Any nutrients that are in those, you're most likely just peeing out. And then it's causing a toxic burn because of all the fillers and all the other yucky stuff they put in them. But if you compare them to good quality, professional quality supplements, okay, they're made well, just like the professional grade. So here's Young Living, here's professional grade supplements. They're both made extremely well so that your body can utilize and assimilate the nutrients. But Young Living supplements have the added benefit of the Young Living essential oils in them, which allows your body to absorb and utilize so much more of that nutrient. So you're peeing much less of it out. So you're getting much more for your money. And when you compare price, they're actually less expensive than most professional grade supplements. So not only are they a lower price point, you're absorbing and utilizing so much more of them that they're worth much more value-wise, okay? So they all have, every single product Young Living makes is infused with essential oils, including their supplements, which allows your body to utilize them, allows them to get into your cells. So 1 drop of Young Living essential oil has 40 million trillion molecules. We have 100 trillion cells in our bodies. So 1 drop of Young Living essential oil has enough molecules to cover every cell in our body with 40,000 molecules, okay? So imagine 1 drop of Young Living essential oil infused into that supplement takes it to a much more extreme level, but there's actually usually more than 1 drop because they use multiple oils typically. Okay, they actually have done clinical studies specifically on multigreens, which hopefully you guys are taking every day. It's a Young Living supplement. It's amazing. We'll talk about it later this month. And multigreens, before they infused it with essential oils, had a 42% blood absorption rate within 24 hours. Okay, so after 24 hours from taking it, you were able to absorb 40% in your blood when there were no essential oils mixed in with it. But after adding in the essential oils to the multigreens formula, blood absorption increased to 64% in 30 minutes and 86% in 1 hour. So it went from 42% blood absorption rate in 24 hours to 86% blood absorption rate in 1 hour. That is huge, enormous, okay? So your cells are able to assimilate nutrients that without the essential oils, they're unable to assimilate, okay? So I'm just prefacing our month of Screw the Flu and supporting our health with ensuring you that your investment in Young Living supplements is going to be worth every penny, and that if you are currently purchasing supplements from somewhere else, switching them over to Young Living is going to greatly increase the amount that you are absorbing and utilizing in your body, and be worth their weight in gold. I have a friend who is part of our Oilers for Life family, and she has been going to the doctor for a long time because her vitamin D levels are like chronically low. They've been low for years and years and years. And she had been supplementing with vitamin D, but her vitamin D levels continued to be low. Like it never helped until she started taking Young Living's Super Vitamin D. And then when she went to her next doctor's appointment, they were like, your vitamin D levels are the best they've ever been. That's because her body was finally able to utilize and absorb the vitamin D. So you guys, taking supplements doesn't mean that you're utilizing and absorbing the supplements, okay? It is so, so important, just like with essential oils. If you use bad essential oils that are loaded with synthetics and loaded with pesticides and loaded with all kinds of yuck, you're bringing all that yuck into your body and you're actually causing more harm than good. Same thing with bad quality supplements, okay? For the most part, the majority of people who are taking supplements are actually harming their bodies and actually increasing their toxic burden. So hopefully that helped. Just a little bit about supplements to start our month, and keep an eye out for more posts about supplements, and I will be popping in periodically to talk more about specific Young Living supplements and how you should use them and why you should use them and all of that. So let me know if you guys have questions in the comments here, and I'll come back and answer them. And I hope you guys have a great day. All right.